Hello and welcome to Flagstaff TV. Today we are joined by Werner Klingenberg, CEO of Goldplat. Werner, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, it's good to join you, and I'm sure there's a few things I would love to update the market about.
That's great. Well, shall we start with your recently released half-year results?
Yes, Catherine. We had another strong performance in the first half of 2025. We achieved operating profits of close to, or just above £2.5 million, which is a strong showing considering the changes that we've had in Ghana, specifically around the business model and the regulatory requirements, where for the last 6 months we needed to extract gold out of all the byproducts and produce a doré bar, and not being able to export concentrates anymore. As indicated, I believe the team has actually done extremely well in a short period of time to extract value. This obviously, however, in the short term resulted in a lot of lockup in inventory on site. We have been able to reduce that and even reduce that further also half year in the third quarter, and hopefully we'll be able to give you an update soon around that as well. But yes, I think in general, it went quite well, and I'll give you a bit more update around South Africa a little bit later.
Werner, can you talk us through the key takeaways of your latest investor webinar?
Yes, Catherine. I think we had a good engagement, and again, thank you for everybody that dialed in. I think that the important thing is obviously in South Africa, shareholders is extremely interested in the tailings facility. It is quite a big asset that is not on our balance sheet. As indicated to the market, we've got 82,000 ounces of JORC resource in our TSF. That was done in 2016 when we had 1.6 million tons in that TSF, and the grade was running at 1.76 grams a ton. We have told the market afterwards that we've added roughly 800,000 tons of additional tailings onto that facility, a little bit of a lower grade, around 1.4, 1.45 grams a ton. And that means we're sitting with a significant resource on that TSF. We've indicated to the market we believe we can recover around 25-30% through normal conventional CIL leach processes. However, the question is where are we going to process it? The plan is to process it through external party. To be able to do that, we require water use license approvals from the department for pipeline. We need some landowner consent on certain areas where that pipeline will cross, and we need to finalize commercials with a third party. And once we've achieved that, we'll have a better and clear, more accurate understanding of what the total value is that can be recovered from that TSF. And that's what the market is so anxious to understand. I think what I told the market is that the board will evaluate and see if we can provide them with some better initial indications, specifically around margin of cost, where possible. But obviously, I mean, the big thing is nothing can happen if we don't have all these other criteria in place. So that will always be something that needs to be achieved first. But we want the market to have a clearer view, and we're looking forward to do that. I think another one is obviously the company has been performing profitably, as I indicated. If you look at our profitability of around 1.5 million for the first 6 months, that gives you earnings per share of around 0.88p. Now, if you analyze that and you compare it to the current share price today, there's probably around a PE of 4. And the company has been achieving this constantly. And I think there's big questions from the market in terms of when are we going to declare dividends. It's still definitely the board's view that we need to do that. But there has been certain aspects that has impacted our ability to do so, specifically the changes in Ghana, resulting in hold up in working capital. There's obviously been some value we created by buying back minority shares in South Africa and the repayment of loan. that took some cash, and then there was some capital requirements over the last 2 to 3 years. I think we spent about close to £1 million just in Ghana over the last 6 months to be able to get our plant to a place where we can now produce doré as required by the regulatory authorities. So hopefully we're going into a period now where we've got a bit more stability and we can start sharing some of that profits to the market. And yes, for me, I think that's the main takeaway, and that's the main questions from shareholders at this point in time. Apart from that, we're obviously focusing on just making sure we maximize value out of the different jurisdictions. South America has been doing extremely well. We're sending material from there to South Africa now. And we want to still expand and see what we can do in the rest of Africa and processing it through our operations in Africa, Ghana, South Africa specifically.
Werner, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching Flagstaff TV.